My name is Ben. I am from the United States. I am a man, and I speak English. We are from different countries. We speak different languages. We are of different cultures. Fedora unites us with open source. We are Fedora. For me to narrow down my Fedora mentor to just one person. There were so many great people that were on the docs team when I first joined that welcomed me. Jared Smith, Eric Christensen, John McDonough, Paul Fields. I'm sure I'm probably missing some people, but they were all super welcoming and they all really helped me get started and get comfortable on the docs team. One thing I do remember Jared saying to me early on was be bold. He wanted me to feel comfortable jumping in to help, even if I might make mistakes. And I've made a lot of mistakes in the 11 years I've been a part of the Fedora project. But that's part of how we learn and grow. And Fedora has always provided a very safe environment for that. A new delight, and like I only say that sort of halfway silly. Um, Mostly it's just around all the times we've spent together, in-person events and virtual events, just all the social, there's always something fun happening when you get Fedora contributors together, whether it's at Flock or in one of the Nest or release party, or just meeting up with people at conferences. I try and make sure I spend some time when I'm at a conference, interacting with other Fedora contributors that I might not see on a regular basis and who might not interact in a part of the projects that I'm normally hanging out in. And it's always just a lot of fun to spend that time together. I don't remember the specifics of it now, but it was about 6 months into my tenure as the Fedora Program Manager, and somebody had submitted a change proposal, and I looked at it and was like, no, this is not sufficient. You've left out like half the stuff you're supposed to have. I'm not going to fill this in for you. Please try again. And to me, that was like, I am comfortable in my role now. Like I feel like I can tell people no, because the first few months it was very much like I need to build trust. So I went out of my way to sort of, do things for people that they should have done for themselves. Because, even though I'm hired into this role, people don't care, especially if they don't work for Red Hat. Like, everything that I can accomplish in the community is because I've built trust for me individually, not for the role. And so like the day I was able to be like, no, this is trash, come back and do it again, that was uh that was sort of the moment. It's like, okay, I'm really comfortable and I'm really in the role now. So my favorite thing in terms of what we ship, I think has to be System D. And there are a lot of different choices here, but for me, coming from a system administration background, I've written a lot of really crappy init scripts over the years, and just the amount of stuff that I can do trivially with System D that wasn't really possible before makes it my life so much easier. And even now that I'm not a system administrator, I have a script that runs as a System D timer to check for um, pending change proposals and send me an email if there are any. I still manage my backups with things like that with System D and things like that. So I think it's a very innovative technology, and I think it does a lot for people. In terms of sort of how we make what we ship, the blocker bugs application that the QA team has developed, um, that's really awesome. Both like just the listing of bugs in their current state, that really helps when I'm putting together the weekly blocker review emails or including that in the Friday's Fedora Facts post in the community blog. But then now they have the ability to vote in tickets on blocker and freeze exception status, which has been awesome because one, it makes the blocker review meetings on Mondays a lot shorter. And two, it really opens up participation for people who can't be in the blocker review meetings, at noon Eastern on Mondays. That time is not necessarily open for everyone. And so being able to do things asynchronously in a way that's sort of separate from the technical discussion that goes on in the bug has been really great from a community standpoint. Fedora Linux 30 will always have a special place in my heart. That was the first one where I was the program manager from, basically the beginning of the development cycle. But really, my favorite release is always the next one, just because I can't wait to see what the community has come together to produce. And I know it seems like a really trite answer, and I think Matthew usually says that his favorite is whichever one is, the current release. But because my job is so much in, you know, uh, facilitating the next release. It's exciting. That's the one that's coming up. That's why I do what I do every day, because that's how we're pushing the state forward. Is my favorite Fedora event. I love being able to get together with people and put faces to IRC handles. One of the things that um, was just so awesome for me in Dresden in 2018 was, that was the first really in-person Fedora event that I'd ever been to. And I've met some people at other conferences and stuff like that. But there were people who I had known for a decade at that point that I'd never met in person. And, all of a sudden here I am surrounded by, 150, 200 people who are all really passionate about the same thing I am. And I get a chance to finally, see as, humans, as people, um, people I've only known as an IRC handle or an email for a long time. Flock always wears me out because I try to spend as much time as I can talking to contributors, doing the social events, things like that. But I always come away with so much energy just from being around people for a few days.